up to the top. I saw the clouds looking angry, but then the sky reached my mind. And when I space out, I see the possibilities unfolding the way that I want. That you showed up was written in the palm. You are a statement that explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You cut me.
Hey y'all, what's up? Hey, how are y'all doing today on this cold, dreary day? Man,
Doesn't feel like Valentine's Day, does it?
No.
Well, Valentine's Day is tomorrow, but
You know, a lot of people are celebrating tonight. I know as I was coming in, restaurants are packed, but not many people are driving. So
yeah.
it's like, they're getting out early.
Yes. So y'all come on in, say hello as you come in. Trying to see if I can see some of your posts, because last time we couldn't see the post. So I just want to make sure that everything is working correctly so that we can see you guys. And also, this particular show is just going to be me and Toya. We're going to be talking to our singles, because I know this time of year is kind of like, this ain't for us. So we want to talk to you guys. So if you are wanting to be a part of the conversation, we can actually bring you in so that we can talk to you guys. So what I may have to do is, I think I'm going to probably have to go into my Facebook on my phone so that I can see everybody's comments. But that's fine, because I want to make sure that we get everybody. Also, let's see. We need to bring in this particular. Let's see. Oh, we also need to bring in our Podbean people.
Yes.
Let's see. All right. So yeah, as you guys come in, just say hello. Let us know where you're watching from.
Yes.
Let us know where you're watching from and your question, because we want to know your questions too.
Yes, or if you have gems and inspiration stuff that you want to drop regarding singles, when you're spending Valentine's Day alone, or just, inspiration, especially single and dating as an entrepreneur.
Right.
Because
we know it's hard
and all that.
Yeah. We know it's hard. We know it's kind of frustrating a little bit. Just a little bit.
I guess I'm like used to it.
Okay, yeah, we need to talk about that. So
not all of that.
Nah.
But
we're not gonna dig too deep. Okay. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and get started while I get signed in to everything.
All right, y'all. Welcome. Welcome, Kathy Moore, Myra. How are y'all today? Like I said, if y'all have questions, chime in, join us. Today's show is about single and dating as an entrepreneur. Time. I think I struggle with the time because I don't make time for it. And it's almost like I purposely don't make time for it.
Oh my gosh.
And I know I shouldn't be like that. And then two, I probably send off the vibe as I'm single, don't bother me. Like
Toya.
I feel like I put off those vibes. Somebody told me that.
Really?
But they came to me as a friend and said that. And so we were having a conversation because they were like, why are you still single?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm pretty sure it's just my approach and how people view me and see me.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were having the conversation, she said, well, she said, have you ever thought about your vibes? I said, you know what? I really didn't think about that. But so after us having this conversation, she was like, okay, you're going to go out and you're going to stop putting off those vibes and you're going to get a man. So I kind of adjusted as to working on my, for people to approach me and to not be so standoffish. I
Gotcha.
think that's my problem when it comes to dating.
Mhm.
You know, do have people that's interested, but I'm not interested. And I think
Gotcha.
my brother tells me all the time, you're too picky. You need to erase some of those things off your list. Some of those don't matter. I said a lot of those do matter on my list.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. I'm a list girl too.
Yeah.
So
But
I
think-
understand that, you know, you have to know what you want.
Yes.
And I feel like I don't think that's over the top.
Right.
Because that's what you're looking for in a relationship.
Exactly.
And that's what you want out of that relationship. Because if we don't want to settle.
No. Oh no.
And I really feel like that's taboo because it's like your standards aren't high. You just know what you want.
Exactly.
And I feel like a lot of men may be I've heard that men are intimidated by me.
Yeah, I get that sometimes.
And I want to know from the guys, hey, you know, is it possible for a man to be intimidated by a woman? Because I feel like it's kind of crazy to me because it's like, really, little old me? I mean, I'm not intimidating. I don't know.
I am. But you know, like I said, in the past, I've had people say, "Quit frowning," and I don't even realize I'm frowning sometimes.
I do that too,
and it's just
I do that too.
When we were listening to, you know, Dr. Frazier the other night, and one of his exercises was to get in front of the mirror and see your facial expressions. Like, how do you, when somebody says, how are you, or what's your name? What does your face say?
Right.
So that has a lot to do.
And, you know, I actually did that.
Really?
Like, I'm naturally just somebody that smiles anyway, but I actually had to kind of step back and be like, okay, well, I wonder what people do see when they see me. And sometimes I do have this serious look on my face and I'm just kind of relaxed and I'm just,
but it's like, oh,
thinking
that's me.
Yeah.
And it's like, but if you get to know me, I'm fun.
It's like, sorry guys.
Yeah, sorry. So I know we need some questions, people. Because we have a lot of y'all watching.
Yes. Listen, because we know this is a big topic. I'm you know what?
I know we had a few people that were interested.
Yes.
We need them to either call in or I don't have their number.
Well, not necessarily call in, but send us send us a message and we'll send you the link so that you can chime in, because we definitely want to hear from the single entrepreneurs. We want to hear from both sides because I know, you know, I hear from women all the time. I want to hear from the men because they really don't talk about it.
They don't.
And I don't know if it's because, you know, they don't want to share their feelings.
Yes.
But I do feel like we do need to hear that side of it.
We do. We need to hear what
so that
men are thinking.
We know. Yeah, so we know how to approach the situation. So Precious Harrison, thank you so much for joining us. Me too. They say I'm intimidated, but I don't. I don't.
Yes, I don't see it. So if anybody can call in and tell us why you feel that women intimidate you, or you know, that look, you know, just let us know,
right?
Because everybody's hearing it, evidently.
Yeah, I guess.
And it's, you know, entrepreneurs that are hearing it, and I think it's that, you know, the women are stepping out into their own unapologetically,
I believe
doing great things, and nowadays a man has to bring it.
But I mean, like they would have had to bring it anyway, though.
Yeah,
right?
But I think it's a different generation. It's a new breed we dealing with. Some of them, but some of them are, you know, old school. But you know, I look at this younger generation. They fall in love in 3 hours. You know, on my social media, love of my life. Y'all just became boyfriend and girlfriend a couple hours ago.
And then like a week later, they got somebody else.
Yeah, you know, went through and deleted all the pictures. I see that a lot from teenagers. So I'm like, y'all. So I feel like it's up to us, our generation, because I grew up in a 2-parent home. My mom passed away when I was 16, but my grandparents were married. Oh my gosh. If my family hears this and I butcher this date, let's just say they were married a long, long time. Like over, I'm gonna say over 50 years.
Mhm.
So I grew up seeing that marriage,
Right.
and not once did I ever see them argue in front of each other. But I know they had like little. But my
disagreements,
grandpa
yeah.
always said at their last anniversary dinner that we did, I still have it recorded. I should have brought it up. What he said about communication, because
Yeah.
he passed a few years ago, and that was one thing he said. We always made sure before we went to bed at night, we hashed out whatever issues.
Oh, wow.
You know, we didn't scream, yell, argue, none of that.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, wow, you know, we need that. We need to see more of that.
That's true.
And
That's true. And I think a lot of the like grandparents, great grandparents that are still living, they lived, well, some of them, I'm not gonna say all of them, but some of them did live by those biblical,
they did
you know,
principles.
standards and principles. So I agree with you. We need to see more of that.
Yes.
My grandparents were married, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, family, like she said, if y'all hear this and I butcher it, don't get mad at me. But
Yes.
my grandparents were married, I want to say 77 years before my grandfather passed.
Wow.
And you don't see that.
You don't.
I mean, it's unheard of for people to be married that long. And we
And
my
I
grandmother is a firecracker. Listen, those that know me, they know my grandmother. So, but she, and you know, they had their disagreements, they had their problems. I mean, every relationship does,
of
but
course. Yeah.
you just don't see that anymore.
Mm-mm. And so it's like, what examples do this younger generation have to look at? Because we had that to look at. And I don't know. I just feel like somebody out here needs to do a singles relationship class for our younger generation.
Amen.
Like, especially show young men how to treat women, how to, you know, treat the girls, because it starts little.
Yeah.
I was sitting in my car at Walmart, I guess about a week ago, and this little boy, I'm guessing it was his mom and grandmother. His mom got out and she had a baby in the back seat. He like sprinted out, ran around the car to open that door for his mama to get the baby out. And I was just like, that mom is doing a great job.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Absolutely.
That's great parenting.
Absolutely. I love it.
So,
Absolutely love it. So, okay. Let me ask you, what is your definition of love? Being in, you know, with the situation. We're not going to get deep. I just, you know, what's your definition of love and what do you expect?
To me, love is it's unconditional. Right. I mean, you have to love a person with their flaws and all. Like, whatever that person does, you need to be there for that person. You have to show affection, attention. You have to love God. I feel, you know, that's got to be number one. Right. I know my next relationship, we will have to put God first. But that, to me, that's what love is. It's just being there, showing up. Right. You know, maybe I had a bad day or you had a bad day and you don't even really feel like talking about it. But if you're just sitting there with that person, that is love. You don't have to talk. You don't have to say nothing. Like, just be there. Just be there. Be present. Give them your all. Undivided attention. So that's what love means to me. And
that's dope.
What about you?
I agree 100%. I feel like love is something that is unconditional. It is something that is not just a feeling, right? But it's action. Yes. You know, you do stuff around the house. You do stuff to kind of to help me out. Love, like I said, love is an action. You have to show me that you love me, not just tell me, because it's easy to say, "Oh, I love you and I care about you," and but it's another to actually show me. I'm not talking about like the old, you know, back in the days where women were housewives and this and that. I'm saying, you know, like you said, when you're having a bad day and if you're in tune with your person,
it's like your soulmate.
You
should
know when
in
that
sync.
person something is off. So like you said, not necessarily talking about the situation unless, I want to talk about it,
Mhm.
but just, hey baby, what's up? Are you okay? I say, I'm all right. Just don't be like, oh, she tripping. Just be like,
Right.
okay, go do what you're gonna do, then come back and check on me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think a lot of relationships is what happens is that breakdown of communication.
Yes.
Yes. My brother said it was 65 years. My grandparents were married. So
I mean, be in tune with me.
Yes.
I don't like a lot of judgment. And I've actually heard people say that I'm judgmental. And I don't try to be, that's not my MO. But I don't like to be judged. Like I want to be, I'm not going to say women are very complex. So I know that we are misunderstood a lot, but I just want to be understood. Like I want somebody to say, you know what, I get that. Mm-hmm. Or, if they don't understand, kind of find out what my thought process is. And, we talk about it. It's not a debate. It's not, something that we're going to argue about, but just have a conversation.
Yes. And I think all that stuff needs to be hashed out before you say I do as well.
Absolutely.
You can't just get married. And, a lot of people base love off material things. Mm-hmm. I don't. I mean, no, because love can't pay rent. It can't pay bills. It can't. I wish it could, but it can't. But that's what a lot of people get it wrong is, they base it off of those material things, and it's not about that. And I feel like that's why a lot of marriages end and fail.
Oh, for sure.
And I hear communication is like the number one thing. Mm-hmm. It's communication, and you have to fight for each other. You have to want that marriage to work.
Yeah. I agree. And, with us being, we've been married before.
Yes.
And coming into kind of a single life. You've been in yours a little bit longer than me.
Yeah.
But I guess what I want to know is like, how did you get to a point where you were like, you know what, I'm okay with this. Like, I'm good. I can do this.
Honestly, I would say probably like 6 years ago, because I have been divorced for 13 years.
Wow.
I think. Yeah, 13 years. It's a long time.
Yes.
But I did date, a little bit, but never really, it wasn't serious or anything. Mm-hmm. But I would say probably about 6 years ago, you just have to really know your worth. And that's what I started to, because I got pregnant at 18, married at 19, moved to another state with a baby. New marriage, nobody. So it was just us.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was just a big leap of faith.
So it was like, I'm telling you, love, man. Love how you do some crazy stuff.
Listen.
I'm not going to say it was crazy, because in that moment, that's what I wanted. But I don't know if that's what the Lord wanted for us.
Oh, we're not going to talk about that right now.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what I wanted. And, like, it just, I'm telling you, and I honestly feel like communication, and along with other things, was our breakdown. Now that we are both older and mature, we can communicate. It's just, and I feel like in a marriage, and especially our younger people, you have to have people that are willing to help you fight for your marriage.
Oh,
we didn't have that. And if we would have, I feel like we probably would have made it.
Yeah.
But you have to have somebody that's willing to, especially when you're young, somebody to really jump in and help you, guide you, mentor you,
right?
All of that. So, but yeah, like I said, 6 years ago, I, was like, look, I'm fixing to just stop, like, just dating, you have to date with a purpose.
Right.
And That's what I want to do, is
Absolutely.
date with a purpose. And our purposes need to match. They need to add up.
Ooh, that's good.
So I had a deep
I like
conversation with a friend this week about, oh my gosh, he went deep into this conversation. And when his book comes out, it's going to be really, really good. But he gave me 3 points: purpose, love, and destiny. All 3 need to play a role in your relationship.
Ooh.
And he broke it down. I was like, oh boy, we got church on this phone.
Listen, we need him.
But-
Where's he at? Are you watching? What's his name?
That's what I told him. That's
Let's
what
bring
I
him
told
in.
him. But I'm telling you, it opened my eyes to a lot, because I really didn't think about, purpose, love, destiny,
Mhm.
because your purpose, has to line up.
Right.
And then love, of course, has to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And then your destiny, where are y'all going?
Right.
Is it going to be, you're going to start here and go here, or are you going to
Mhm.
start and
And
continue?
continue to go. Yeah.
And I think that is what we have to learn to do and to teach our younger kids.
right.
I know with mine, the Destiny will be 20 next month. Jaden is just turned 18. And I really stress that they find somebody that they are, like we were talking about, in sync with,
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
you connect with on a mental level,
Right.
not just a sexual level.
Right.
And I think a lot of us get that confused
Ooh.
with, and I
That's
mean,
the truth. That
you
is
do.
the truth.
It gets your mind all jumbled up,
Mhm.
and that next thing you know, that's what your relationship is based off of.
Right.
So,
Right. I love that.
oh,
I love it. And I know that it's harder to not bring the sexual part of it in there.
mhm.
But if you can abstain, because sex does cloud. It clouds your judgment. We're
It
not gonna lie.
does.
We're all grown here.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure that you have everything. I mean, you're not gonna have everything perfect. You're not gonna have.
Mm-mm.
And I hate when people say, "Oh, I'm trying to get my stuff together. I'm trying to get it all together." That's never gonna happen.
No.
It's not. And I say it all the time.
Yeah.
And I just I sit back and I'm just like, you know what? I just need to go with the flow and trust God in everything that I do.
I still struggle with that. I think we all do.
We all do.
Because it's like
We all
letting go,
do.
releasing.
And then just being able to,
Yeah.
talk. I mean, just having a simple conversation with people sometimes is just kind of like,
Yeah.
and it's not to be rude, but it's just, you know what you're looking for. You know what type of conversation that you want to have, or you know what type of relationship that you want to
Mhm.
have. But sometimes it gets frustrating.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I was married for almost 10 years. I've been single for almost 2. So it's just like,
Yeah. I mean, I feel like everybody wants to be in a relationship.
yeah.
But you got to be in the right relationship.
You have to be in the right relationship, and that person has to. There's no such, and I'm gonna say this because this is what I think people think about. I want somebody to complete me, and
Yeah.
one of the messages that my pastor had given is that nobody's gonna complete you. Only God can do that. God is the only one that can complete
That is so
you.
true.
And if you don't seek him first, you're not going to find that person that is going to match you, because only he knows, who's going to be good for you, and who's, you have to use your discernment and all of that.
Yes.
So it's tough.
It is.
It
I
is
mean,
very tough. And then to kind of talk to somebody and get to know somebody, and then you're kind of like in the back of your mind, it's like, okay, does this person want to be with me because I'm popular? Does this
Yeah,
person want to be with me because I
exactly.
got money? Or, what is the motive? What's
Yeah.
your MO for talking to me? And, you really don't want to think like that, but sometimes you
Mhm.
have to, because you have to protect your heart
Man.
and your
Yeah.
mind.
Your sanity.
Yes.
When it comes down to, I feel like love in a relationship, if it comes down to staying in something that you don't need to be in,
Mhm.
and protecting your sanity, you better protect your sanity
Yes.
because it can turn
Amen.
ugly real quick.
Amen.
So, I mean, you always, especially if you have kids involved, you need to think about them,
Yes.
think about their well-being. Would you rather them grow up in a dysfunctional home, you know, or seeing that relationship, or would you rather be apart and y'all raise those kids and they see some stability in, you know, life?
Absolutely.
Because I feel like that's where a lot of generational curses and things come into play with relationships.
For sure.
So from kids being damaged and seeing all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I agree. I definitely agree.
Mhm.
Hey, Eric. Hey, do you
Yeah,
want to
Eric.
join us?
Yes.
I see you on here. I see a lot of people on here. Brandon
do
Jones,
too.
Tiffany Shees. Hey, guys. Ivan. Hey. So
Date
listen.
with a purpose.
Yes, dating
You
with a
date with a
purpose
purpose.
is exactly why you should date. I mean, there's a reason. There
Mhm.
should be a reason behind why you're getting to know someone. And unfortunately, some people don't. You know, they just I'm just out here having a good time.
Yeah. And I mean, we've all been there. I mean, in our 20s, and some of us in our 40s and 50s still there. But you know, you need to get out of it.
Ooh. Did she just put y'all out there like that?
I ain't calling no names. I'm just saying, I'm just speaking that, you know, sometimes, you know, you have to, and some people say they just want to remain single. They don't want to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
So
marriage is not a lot of people's ministries. I've noticed that. Like, you know, a lot of people want to be married, but it's just not, that's just something that they're not, it doesn't work.
Yeah. They just, you know.
And I respect that. Because I mean, it takes willpower, it takes strength to be single because, you know, you have to deal with a lot of issues. Not saying that married people don't. Trust me, we know what it takes to be married too, but being single is a whole nother beast.
It is. But I think it gives you time to know who you are, to, you know,
absolutely
develop relationships with other people, because some people don't really think, I know, like maybe the older generation, they didn't think men and women could be just friends. You know, a lot of them didn't see that, didn't think that.
Right.
But our generation and the generation under us, we are looking at it differently now. I feel like men and women can be friends. Probably when I first got married, or, you know, in the year, I was probably like, no.
Yeah.
But where I am now mentally in life, you can be. And just on that level, friendship. So, and
I think that's where a lot of relationships mess up too, is that they weren't friends in the beginning. Like, you have to get to know somebody before you can say, oh, I love you, I care about you, I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with you. And it's, you know, that type of stuff. That's infatuation, that's lust, that's
a whole bunch of stuff.
That is not love.
No.
Little ones, that is not
little ones, that is not love.
That is not love. You have to take the time to learn about that person. And I mean, you're not going to know every single thing about somebody. I mean, that's a whole process. That's part of growing up with that person. Because as you get older, even, you know, when you're dating as teens, you know, you don't think about that type of stuff. You're just, you're just having fun. You're just trying to figure out who you are at that particular moment. But that's a lifelong thing. You know, you have to, you know, you're figuring out who you are in your teens. You're figuring out who you are in your 20s and 30s and 40s and even in your 50s and 60s. You're
constantly evolving.
Growing. You're still doing that. So to have somebody that is by your side through those transitions, because you will transition.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it takes a special person to do that.
Yes.
It takes your person to do that. And you have to grow with that person. And that person has to be willing to grow with you and understand that, okay, there are going to be seasons. The seasons are going to be tougher than others. Some seasons are going to be tougher than others, but I'm willing to go through this with this person, or I'm willing to get through this storm. I'm willing to get through the hard times, because there's going to be more hard times than anything.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's when your relationship is really tested. It's real difficult, hard times, you know, just man.
Okay, so let's talk about this without going into detail about anything. What was kind of like the toughest thing that you've been through as a single entrepreneur?
I would say trying probably a couple things would be, of course, it's you don't want to bring a lot of people around your kids,
Right.
and I don't believe in doing that.
I don't either.
You don't want your kids to see men or women constantly, out your door.
Right.
That doesn't look good. So I think I was because I did have a daughter, at that age, and I just didn't do that, and I would say that being just cautious when you have children and you're dating, just make sure before you start to bring men or women around them that you have a sense of peace and comfort within yourself.
Right.
But then maybe y'all go out on a little outing or something to introduce
family date
each other. You know, if they have kids, make it one big thing, because you have to look at it like this too. If you are with somebody who has kids and maybe you don't have kids, or maybe you have one or two, it's a package deal. You get that man, you take him and his kids. If you get that woman, you take that woman and her kids. So
I like that.
I feel like I've heard so many stories of relationships where the new wife or the new husband doesn't want the other spouse to have anything to do with their kids, but you spend all this time with that person's kids doing for that. That to me, that's wrong. Because you have, I don't agree with that, but that's how it is in some relationships. So I would say that. And then being single and as an entrepreneur, it's time consuming.
Yeah.
I know I don't schedule time for dating. I know, I schedule time for other stuff, but I just don't put that in my, it's not a priority. It's not a priority. It's not up there with everything else. And I probably should kind of make it, semi-priority. So, but yeah, I would say time is a big one. Yeah.
I have to agree with you on that, on both of those, because I think now there are more people that have kids that are single than those that don't. Now, the ones that don't, to piggyback on that, you have to understand that if this person that you're dating has kids, you have to respect that.
Yes.
They're going to come first, period. And you should want them to take care of their kids. Now, I'm not saying that that's all they talk about or that's all they do. You have to respect the fact that they have kids. They're going to take care of their kids. And a lot of times their kids are going to come first. Most of the time their kids are going to come first. And, if they're trying to set time for you, that's a great thing.
Yeah. But
don't be so selfish and think that, he don't care about me because all he care about is those kids, or she don't care about me because all she care about is those. Of course.
You better be glad they care about them kids, because if you have some kids with him, he gonna care about your kids.
I'm just saying.
It's a two-way street.
It's a package deal. It's a two-way street. Just be mindful of that. That those kids are gonna be priority.
Yes.
And of course, what I would like to see is a single man that doesn't have kids, schedule some time. Hey, babe, let's take the kids to wherever and let's have family time.
Right.
Let's do something with the kids. And I know it's not going to be perfect. I know with baby mama drama, baby daddy drama is there. You're going to have to deal with the other person's baby daddy or baby mama at some point.
Right.
And then there may be a time where you don't, because if they have it under control and they can do that, great. Kudos.
Yes.
But 90% of the time, it's not going to be that way. So you have to make sure that you are mentally prepared for that. Because I am not going to lie.
I know
I was not ready.
my first time mentally, baby. I didn't want that woman around my kids because I didn't know who she was. I acted a fool. I did. But like I said, that was years ago, y'all. But you know,
That's
just
I
my
mean, that's
story.
just-
That's part of my story. Yeah, I did act.
We're evolving.
You know, I'm evolving. That's what I'm doing. No. So, but you know, years ago I did, and man, like I'm gonna tell you, I was mad.
Yeah.
Because I think when you see that first time with them, after you've been with somebody for so long, and then that first time you see them with somebody,
it does something to
you. Like it cuts you.
Cuts you deep.
It do. It make you just want to like just do something crazy. But then once you get through that, it's like, child,
yeah,
you know, whatever. But that first time, yeah. It does something to you. I'm glad I'm not the only one that feel like that.
Listen, man, it's a different, and you can't say, ladies, and some men, I'm gonna say you have to be real about the situation.
Yes,
especially if you've been with somebody for so long, or even if you haven't, and you dated somebody for so long, and y'all break it off, or something happens, and y'all not together anymore. When you see them with somebody else. It's a
lets you know they done moved on, so you might as well move on.
It's a dig.
I mean,
but I mean that's life. That is life. So I think the hardest thing for me being single and being an entrepreneur is coming home to an empty house.
You don't know what I do sometimes when I get home. I open the door and I be like, "Honey, I'm home." Ain't nobody say nothing. My Destiny and Jaden would laugh and be like, "Mom, I see y'all. I'm just practicing." I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was like,
but that's real though. Like it's being. I mean, that's the hardest thing for me is coming home to an empty house, wanting to pour my guts out about the day to somebody that I know is going to pay attention and really wants to know what happened.
Yeah.
And, back rubs, massages, have my bath water red, that type of stuff.
It's coming.
It is.
It's coming. For both of us, it's coming.
I'm hopeful.
But
but in the meantime, I'm actually that's a bad thing. Well, it's not a bad thing, but that's something that I do struggle with. But the good part about being single and being an entrepreneur is that I can come and go freely.
I was about to say that.
I can come and go freely. I don't have to check in with anybody. I don't have to call when I get to the hotel. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. I mean, don't get me wrong. That is a good thing when it comes to somebody caring about you, but not having to worry about, are they going to trip about what I got on, what I'm wearing, or, who I'm taking pictures with, or, that type of stuff.
Because I think being an entrepreneur, you're constantly out there and you have to network and take pictures with people,
Eric said I talked about
see, that's right, Eric. Yeah, that's true. Right. You have to. So, I mean, but and I think going into a relationship, that needs to be understood in the beginning. Yeah. Look, I'm going to be on some pictures with, the opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
It's business. I'm going to be talking to them. I'm going to be interviewing them. I mean, he said, you might need a pet. I don't do pets. I don't do animals.
I don't either.
It's just every now and then. I just don't, I don't do it all the time. I may do it when I get back to the house tonight.
Oh my God. I can't. So, Eric, you need to come. You need to come talk to us.
Yes, we want to hear what you think.
Oh my gosh! But yes, so I mean, it's just one of those things. Mm-hmm. Like we deal with it. We're okay with it. Some days, some days we're not okay with it. It's like, man, I need a man, or I need to
be like, shoot, I want to go on a date. I want to go. You just sometimes you just want to go.
You do. You just want to go on a date.
Yeah. So, and let's talk about dating. So, what would be? I'm not gonna say your perfect date, but what kind of date would you like to go on? Like right now, say if somebody reached out to you tonight, and look. Don't hear about being on inbox.
Cut
you know,
that
if
off right
somebody
now.
reached that you were interested in, and maybe y'all have been kind of just casually talking,
Yeah.
and they said, "Hey, let's go on a date." Like, how would you envision that date?
I'm a movie person. I love and I know with COVID and everything,
Yeah.
it's a little bit harder to go to the movies, but I'm a movie person. Action movie at that.
Oh,
I love movies. Going out to eat. I know that's cliche, movie
I
dinner and a
know.
movie, but that to me that lets me know, like, whatever type of movie you like, I can be like, okay, I can see myself, you know, we can talk about this movie and he's into
Yeah.
it, like I'm into it, so we can talk about. And then dinner, of course, what is he gonna order?
Yeah, what kind of
what
food
do you eat?
does he like? I like trying different restaurants. So if I go on
I
a
do
date, we're not gonna
too.
go somewhere I've already been.
Yes.
We're gonna
Yes.
pick
Look
somewhere
at him
different.
talking about, just let me know. Okay, Eric, I got you.
Yes, tell him to call, send him a link. Do you want to talk? I mean, you want to chime in?
Yes,
with us? We can bring
he's
you on
gonna
camera.
chime. We're gonna chime in. We're gonna do this. So, let's see. How do I send the link? I know that there's a link somewhere. I may have to. Oh, girl, what would I do without you, girl? I don't even know. Okay, here we go.
Oh, I have something we need to talk about too. So, like, I've heard both ways. Married people and single people, they said, really shouldn't be friends or hang out as much. Single
What do you
people
mean?
really shouldn't, because say you have a married friend, you're single. Y'all really can't do everything together.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
certain things you can't do as, you know, as being married and you're being a single friend,
Right.
you know. I feel like two of my very best friends are married. We hang out. I mean, we talk on the phone and stuff. They have kids. We all have kids. And one thing I can say is that we're very like, girl, no. It's reading what my cousin wrote. She's in England. No, Scotland. That's where she lives.
Okay.
Hot tub, massage, dinner, and us just sitting by a campfire
But
talking.
see,
Okay.
I like that conversation.
Yes.
Just random conversation, because that's also gonna let me know if you can hold a conversation.
Right.
I mean, I don't know about the hot tub and all that.
Scotland.
Not
She's
for
like
the
Scotland.
not for the first date.
Now, yeah, not for the first
That
date.
maybe, maybe the 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
Or 10th.
I don't even want to do a massage on the first date.
Yeah.
We'll do dinner. I think the campfire, and because you know some restaurants have that outside,
Right.
you know, the fireplace. But like I was saying, two of my very best friends are married, and you know we have kids, and we're very involved in our kids' lives. And she said first date, girl, we ain't doing all that first date. All right. So
Listen, hey, but everybody's different.
Yeah, everybody's
so
different.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, like I said, we can go out to eat, you can do movies, but I think when it comes to sometimes you have that single friend that still likes the club, still likes to do all that. I don't feel like that married friend needs to be tagging along. That's just what I think. But you know, everybody's different.
Right.
But yeah. But I think it's good to see healthy marriages.
Oh,
and to
absolutely.
see other people to witness their marriages and just them communicating and being affectionate and just, you know, like I said, I look at one of my best friends, her and her husband, they're awesome. I mean, he gives her the world. I mean, like time, you know, whatever the kids need. It's just they were meant for each other. So I mean, to be able to see your friends happy and in relationships like that is great.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, if I'm not comfortable with you on the first date, well, yeah, that's true too. If I'm not comfortable with you on the first date, then thank you.
Yes,
for your time.
Yeah.
All right.
Great meeting you.
Yes, exactly. All right, Eric. So we're gonna bring you in, darling. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Hey, guy, can you hear us?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm here working hard from home.
I see.
So yes, give us your take on, what you have encountered or what you deal with as a single entrepreneur. Because you are an entrepreneur. Introduce yourself. Let everybody know what you do, who you are, where
Hi,
you're from.
everybody.
But
My name is Eric. I live here in Tyler, Texas, and I'm actually a financial coach. So that's my main job, and I'm also a life insurance agent. And so I'm like, yo, I do talk to myself when I get home.
See?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I like it. I don't mind being single. It's fun. But I do believe that the right person is. If you marry the right person, your life can be better. I do believe that
I like that.
a lady will compliment me and can make a big difference in my life. But for now, let's just enjoy it and that's what we're doing.
listen, I
Enjoy.
agree. I definitely agree with you on that because it is. They're supposed to make you better.
Yeah.
Right.
They're supposed to compliment you, and they're supposed to, I love that. I'm glad that you
Yeah.
said that.
So
Yeah.
the question earlier, we saw a bunch of comments about women being intimidating and
How do you feel about
unapproachable.
that?
Yeah. What do you think as a man? Do you feel like that anyone you are maybe interested in a lady?
No, it can happen, but I mean, it's your own fault if you feel that way as a man. It could be that she might be a lot, and that is you have to work on that yourself. You have to be able to be on her level. That is, it can happen.
I like that.
That she might be too much, but you got to work on it.
Look,
That's my thing.
so you got to
Yeah, be on the same level. I mean, and again, your couple is supposed to lift you up. If you start dating somebody and it's pulling you down, yeah, you better move on. That's just the way I see it as well. So
nice.
I love that.
Yes.
Absolutely love that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Better, not bitter.
Right. Right.
I like that. Yeah.
and I agree with you guys. I don't. You probably know by now. I don't eat out a lot, but when I go try something, I want to try something new. Same thing with alcohol.
Eric.
We're not even gonna go there, Eric.
Right. Yeah, I mean, always trying something different is good. It can be food, drinks, a new activity, and maybe a new place where you want to go on vacation. To me, it's always good.
You know what I've heard that a good date is an escape room. Because you really get to see.
Oh, because you have to work together.
You have to work together,
Okay.
and you really get to see.
I actually only done one of those. Have you actually been on those?
I want to.
I've never done one. So okay, so what has been your experience in an escape room?
Yeah, I mean, I did it by myself, so it was I like it. It was a different experience, but like I said, I like to try different things. So let's go. Once this is over, let's all of us go together and figure it out.
Listen, I've always wanted to do an escape room, but just never really, made the time to do so. So yeah, we're gonna have to do that.
Yeah, we are.
We're gonna have to do that. I would love to do that as a group though.
Yeah.
Like that's my first time. Like I don't take me too fast.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right. We gotta schedule that. We need to schedule that. Yeah.
I didn't finish mine. It is complicated, but and like I said earlier, I mean, it's kind of like a couple, and kind of like a mastermind. If you have 2, 3, 4 people working together, you might be able to finish it. I was not able to finish it.
Yeah.
You need help for that, for sure.
Okay, so Michelle says, do you think men are supposed to, or are still supposed to approach
I would say a woman.
Okay, yeah, a woman.
What she meant.
I think that's what she meant. Okay, do you think men are still supposed to approach a woman? There's been a lot of commentary about women approaching men because of intimidation. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it is hard for us, especially for a beautiful lady, to approach her, but it is our duty, in my opinion. If you, as a lady, approach the guy, it's not bad, but be aware that he's gonna think that it's not gonna be hard for him, I guess, to get you. So he's not gonna appreciate it as much, in my opinion. So just play hard to get.
So how do you let a girl know that you're interested? That way she can kind of send off some type of signal, because I had a guy friend tell me that. He's like, you have to make yourself approachable.
Mm.
And if that guy acts like he's interested in you, then you need to maybe send off something to let him know.
Right. And most of you guys, the ladies do that, not on purpose, but kind of some of the ladies, they play with their hair when they like somebody. That's one of some of the clues that I noticed. But yeah, look at him at least. I mean, that's what I see as well. When somebody likes you as a lady, she will glance at you every now and then, and I mean, just do that. That would be my best advice. But yeah, let him know for sure, because we're stupid. you help us.
Come on now.
Help us.
Come on now.
No, help us a little bit.
Flirting with eyes. Yeah.
Play hard to get, but I mean, at least give us a few clues. But when I say play hard to get it, I mean, like, don't kiss him on the first date. That's what I mean. I mean, that's one of the issues that I see. Yeah, don't kiss on the first date, please. If you wanted to go somewhere, at least.
Okay.
That's the way I see it.
So it's a respect thing.
It
Like,
is.
you know,
That
kind of
sounds good coming from a man's point of view.
yes, that's good to know
That
because
is. You think that's what they be wanting you to do.
exactly.
Oh, we want it, but but just play hard to get. We do appreciate it. I mean, Steve Harvey says that as well. I mean, I think he mentioned. I think it's a 60-day rule, 60 or 90-day rule.
Yeah.
I think that works. It gets rid of most of the guys that just want to sleep with you, and I mean, if you're into that, go for it. But I mean, if you really want to get rid of those guys that just want to do that, use it. I believe it works.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yes. What is that book called?
Think like
Think
Think like a man.
Act like a
lady,
lady.
think like
Yeah.
a man. Yeah.
That's what.
Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
I think
I like him.
it's a really good book.
Yeah.
It gives a man's perspective, but
Yes.
it's different when men are actually talking about, you know, yeah, that actually does work because that lets me know. She said, no, it doesn't work.
Oh my goodness.
No, it actually lets us know, you know, what to expect.
Who said that?
Charlotte, my cousin.
So did she wait the 90 days? I don't think she did. That's the problem. Most of us cannot wait 90 days.
Oh, she gonna call me and let you know. If she did.
Yeah, she'll let you know what she did. But yeah, so I mean, it's good to hear
I love you,
a
Charlotte.
man's
2 years.
perspective.
Okay.
Oh wow, okay.
Okay, that's good.
That's
That's
she
good.
waited 2 years, Eric. So she's really what she's got going on.
She waited 2 years, no sex at all.
Hey, it's possible. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That is crazy. With the kid that she dated a guy for 2 years.
Here's 5,000 miles.
Wow.
And then she moved. Yes, I'm gonna tell just a little bit of her story. I don't think she'll care, but like she said, waited 2 years. They met in Houston. I believe they met in Houston. He lived in Scotland, so they ended up, like she said, dated for 2 years, and she ended up moving over there, got married. She said, "Tell it, LOL." Ended up getting married, and she's been over there for. Type in for how long you've been over there. I know it's more than 5 years, I believe. But they're divorced right now. But she decided to stay over there in Scotland, and she has her visa. So that's her home now. Yeah, I just don't know if I traveled that far for love.
Hey, but you know,
But yeah,
that's
7 years. Okay.
Listen, that she did that because there was a connection.
Mhm.
Like there was something there.
That's good that she was able to do that. Yeah.
for her. So
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so long distance relationship, since we're talking about it,
Oh yeah.
how would you
Gotta wait 2 more. Okay, separated, but they have to wait 2 more years to get divorced. Okay.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. But still,
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
good. So long distance relationships. I mean, Eric, have you ever been in a long distance relationship?
No, I'm old school.
Okay.
I don't do that. I don't even do the online dating.
I'm online.
So okay, so long distance relationship. Have you ever dated somebody that was not in your area?
I would say, okay, when I first started dating my ex-husband, he's a year older than I am. and he signed up for the military.
Mm-hmm.
So he was in Japan for a year. So I would say, yeah, I mean, we talked on the phone, we wrote letters.
Yeah.
I mean, we communicated, and I mean, we got married after he came home. But yeah, I mean, so I would say, but I don't, nowadays, I probably I would try it,
Mm-hmm.
but I want you to be accessible.
Yeah.
I want to be able, if I,
Yeah.
you know, 2 or 3 hours is a good distance because you can drive
Right.
that. But when you get to talk about 5, 6, 5,000 miles,
You got to buy a
That's
plane
too far.
ticket.
Yeah, I want to be able to see the lady. I'm just.
Yes.
I think I'm too needy. That's probably what it is.
you
No,
know,
I don't think it's that. I mean, you like what you like and you want what you want, but I mean, I don't think you should limit yourself to where you live. I do feel like, you know, you have a better chance of finding somebody if you kind of broaden your bubble
Right.
a little bit better.
I guess that's why I've been single so long. I just want to stay here.
I hear a lot more.
That's probably why I'm single. It makes sense now. I
Mhm.
don't need to move. I mean, I guess at least statewide.
Statewide. But you know, Texas is a big state.
Texas
It takes you
is a
8 hours just to get to El
state.
Paso.
Yes. So we
So-
can't say that.
Yeah.
We can't say that. Not here in Texas. Now maybe Louisiana
Right.
or, you know, some of the smaller states, but
Right.
Texas, you be driving 2 days trying to get somewhere.
we still have to buy a plane ticket. I will not drive 6, 7, 8 hours to see anybody.
Yeah. That's too long. I mean, I don't know. So I don't know. I mean, 2 hours is too long. I think maybe an hour.
Oh
I
my
might be
God.
okay.
Oh my gosh, Eric, really?
You're gonna be single forever, sir.
Yeah, most likely.
Right?
Yeah, it's
So,
okay.
let's change subjects. Well, not really change subjects, but since we are in such a digital virtual world now, what do you think about virtual dating?
Yes.
I know my cousin just posted that they talked, they
Mhm.
wrote, they Skyped, they did virtual dates, picnics, cooked online together. So with us being in this COVID, you know, which, you know, we're going to be in for a while,
Right.
how do you date? How would you go about dating? I mean, has anybody done any virtual date? I know I haven't, but I know it's really big right now. They did a
Yeah.
story about it on the
But I guess that's the way we need to do it now. We have to adjust to what we got going on at this point. I mean, I've been single for 10 years, so another year I'll be fine. It's not. I'll wait another year until this is over.
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Okay, so Michelle, was Michelle the one that said that she I
long
haven't worked.
distance.
Oh, the long distance. Okay. And then we had movie night, game nights. He bought things online and said, "Oh, that's so sweet."
That is cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
She said, I wish I could call y'all. I do too.
I know. Listen, can you send her the link?
Can you get the link? Can you
No, I
chime-
mean,
oh.
she's on your
Oh.
Yeah,
What is-
we're gonna send you the link,
Send
Charlotte.
me the link. I'm gonna send it to you in Messenger.
You got it?
Just send it. Let me send it.
No, I didn't. You have to send.
Oh, can you copy it though and put it?
Let me
and send it
see.
to me?
Copy. Oh, I may have to send it through mine. Okay, we're gonna figure this thing on out, girl.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. All right. So, okay, Eric, so tell me ooh, okay, there we go. Let's see. Okay, so what are some of the things you like to do when you go on a date? Like what would be your ideal date?
I just a cup of coffee. Getting to know the person. That is for me something that is important. Maybe something active. I like running, working out. So something like that will be fine with me. I will enjoy it. The main thing is getting to know the person. A cup of coffee, maybe having a drink will be. To me, that's the main thing. Getting to know the person.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I like that.
Definitely.
Uh,
We're gonna talk about your budget for sure. I'm a money guy, so
The financial counselor is
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. I love it.
about your financial
Yeah.
at no cost.
We need to make sure that we're on the same page with money. Otherwise, it's the main
good.
reason for divorce. So
Yes.
It's good that
It
you bring that
is.
up because it's so important when you get in a marriage to know pretty much what the other person's credit score is and what they bring. Because you may be trying to get something big, and next thing you know,
Mm-hmm.
you can't get it because
Right.
again, yeah,
you
he
be
or she might pull you down.
yeah.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. That's that. You know what? I laugh, but that is
Yeah.
actually a pretty good thing. You know, you have to find out, you know, what their financial issues or if they have any financial issues. You need to know about that because you don't want to get into a relationship or let alone a marriage, and
Right.
you have problems
They just
from
pop up.
what happened previously. You had no
Yeah.
clue. So yeah,
Exactly.
that is actually a pretty good idea. I'm glad you
Yeah,
brought that.
yeah. Like I said, to me, it's gonna come up on the first, second date for sure. That's just the way I am. It's a priority. I don't date just for fun. I date for a purpose. So
Right.
I want to know as much as possible from the lady, so I can make my decision.
You
I
know,
mean, we
so
know within a couple of months, ladies. I mean, that's just the way it is. If you're engaged for 2 years, there's somebody else.
I'm glad you said that because I
Yes.
feel like you said, within a couple of months, 2 to 3 months, you should really know that person, especially if you're spending a lot of time with each other. And if you're
Right.
staying engaged for 2 to 5 years, like,
Yeah.
why?
At some
What?
point,
Some-
you got to make a decision.
Yeah,
'cause
those
that-
are
yeah.
years and time wasted. And then you end up
Right.
not even being together.
All right, Charlotte, we're gonna bring you in, darling. Give us a second. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Charlotte.
Hello. It's
How
like 1 o'clock, so don't be laughing at my voice.
okay.
Wait, it's 1:00 in the morning
Yeah, I'm still on Texas time, so I'm crazy like that.
there? Well, thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
in.
thank you, girl.
That's awesome.
So how's it going over there? What's the weather like over there now?
It is snowing. It's like 25 degrees. It's been snowing for the last 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot of snow.
Here in Texas. What do you say?
He said it's a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot. We're not used to this. It's
Mm-mm.
been 27 for 2 days, and we can't stand it.
I'm already climatized. I went out the other day. I just had like a sweatshirt, sweatpants on. I wore a skirt Friday to work. I had the skirts and tight and my boots and all that. Cold is good for fat people. We can like always layer up. It's the best thing ever.
Girl, stop. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Oh,
my
wow.
gosh.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Charlotte. So, you are single, correct? Can we say that?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me your experience with being single and
In another country.
right
Yeah.
and dating.
Yeah, I'm like being single in another country, being black in another country. Like there's about 6 black people for 45 miles away.
Wow.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm a celebrity. So I always like try to make sure I don't look too bad. And then if I do run into a black person, I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody knows that I look bad.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so okay. In other words, you haven't really been doing a lot of dating,
Yeah.
or have you kind of
I
stepped to the other
I
side?
haven't dated. I'm just
Oh.
because I just left him in May. So it's been like one of those hard because I moved over here completely for him. I gave up my career, I gave up my everything. I gave up everything mainly because I thought like I was single forever. And like I said, some of the things that we talked about everything for 2 years, like every single thing. There was
Wow.
nothing I didn't know about him. There was nothing he didn't know about me. There was no secrets, nothing hidden. Like it was everything. And then I get over and I think it was like too much intimidation for him. Like, why would she give all of this up for me? And he was just so insecure with it. And then because I had my own career and all that, he wanted me to relax and like be the housewife and stay at home because he wanted to be the provider and the breadwinner. And I did it for the first year. And then I got my driver's license, learned how to drive, and that was like making him more insecure. And I thought I was just helping him You know, like he's doing it on his own. Let me help you and we could do it together. But it was making him feel more insecure, like he wasn't enough. And instead of him just saying that, he just kind of retreated so much. So it was like he was pulling away and I was pulling towards him because I thought, well, I need to like get a job so I can help him with money so we can do better on our housing. And he took it as I wasn't content with how I wasn't content enough. I wasn't happy enough. And again, instead of him just saying that, he retreated. And I'm running after him, like trying to do better. And then it just got to the point where it was like I won't say disregarded me, but kind of like disregarded me because I started another career. I ended up running a RV place and like a vacation rental. So I created the whole business. I created the website, created the contracts, had clients. And so with that, you had, like you were saying earlier, I had guests coming in. So I'm meeting guests and I have new guests on site and new landscapers on site and like the gardener. I was the gardener, I was everything. And it was just that insecurity of me being around other like men and family and stuff like that. And he couldn't do it. He couldn't deal with it. Wow. And that insecurity with other people around, I couldn't deal with it because this is my house and this is my career and these are my customers. I can't have you disrespecting me in front of them and me tolerating it. And I couldn't do it anymore because it was like before it was just me and him. That was it. So I could kind of, deal with it. But when you're bringing that into other people and into my business and my profession, I just couldn't do it anymore. And so I left him during COVID of all the times. And it was like, it was hard because I know that it's more, like they say, mental. It's more mental than anything else. And if he would have wanted more treatment or wanted to fight for it a little bit more, I think I probably would have still been there. Mm-hmm. But it was just like, there's not going to be any change. And it was just that insecurity. Yeah. So for me now, it's like, that's one of the things I'm looking at. If I do start dating again, how they cope with A, I'm starting over, and B, I'm not going to tolerate the same thing before. Yeah. But I still want the same thing that he did.
Putting up with anything that I,
Ooh, amen.
You get to a point in your life to where you just like, look, I'm not dealing with this anymore. Yeah. I'm not putting up with that.
Yeah.
And so dating as an entrepreneur, because you've pretty much been an entrepreneur for a few years.
Mm-hmm. Like last 15, 20 years.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize it had been that long. But yeah.
Yeah, 2007 is when I started. Well, okay. Yeah, 2007.
So how is that does that affect your dating at all right now, or you just really giving more time to yourself?
For me, I went back to being an employee. And that's like the hardest thing ever because, like you said, when you're an entrepreneur, you have your own rules and your own, criteria. Mm-hmm. Getting rid of that. Like my last 2 jobs, I had my own business. And so this one, I'm a financial advisor. And it's like I'm advising people again. And I just want to jump back to that self-employed, entrepreneur part, but I can't because I'm working for a company. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing in a relationship. All the things that we did together, I want all of that again in a new partner. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be hard for me not to want all the good that we did and not want all the bad that we had. And I will. I know I shouldn't, but I'll judge the new guy based off of the things that he did.
It's comparison, but you can't do that. I've learned that.
You shouldn't do that.
I know I will.
Comparison because yeah.
And it's sabotage every time.
Yeah.
And Eric, so what are your thoughts about that? Like a woman, having a hard time in a previous relationship and bringing it, not purposely bringing it into your relationship, but how do you feel about that? What are your thoughts?
We're all gonna do that, but we shouldn't judge your next couple or possible suitor because of the mistakes of the other guy. It's an experience. You're gonna use it no matter what. You don't ignore the red flags though. If this guy already showed you and you learn from it, and this next guy is doing the same thing or kind of the similar patterns, yeah, don't ignore them. Just move on. It's hard out there.
Ooh,
Oh,
say that again.
it's hard. It's hard for us entrepreneurs, but look, I work full time still, but
Oh, and I'm going back too. Charlotte.
it's time. I
Yeah.
feel like time is the biggest thing because we only have 24 hours in a day. I spend
Amen.
8 of mine
Uh,
at my job.
I
Amen.
think that's where the relationship should come in. They should know, that you're doing like double duty, and so they should be your support and your comfort when you're done, and not
right.
add to any extra stress, add to an extra anxiety. So, like you said, you're going to an event, and they know that you've been either working and doing the entrepreneur thing, and you come home. The first thing that they should be is supportive. Maybe
Yeah.
not necessarily be, what did you do today? How did you do it? But are you tired? You want to go get something to eat? I'll have something ready when you get home. That type of support where you don't have to tell them what you want. They should know that this is what I would want if I came home.
That's where that purpose, love, and destiny, before you say I do, come into play.
Right.
So,
Get to know each other. Like if you're an entrepreneur, maybe somebody that works 8 to 5 is not going to understand you. You don't want to marry somebody like that because, I mean, to them it might be stupid for your job. They might, what are you doing at 11 p.m. working?
yeah.
So make sure you're compatible. You don't want somebody that's just like you, but certain things. I mean, money, religion,
Yes.
your job. I mean, like I said, if you work 8 to 5 and then so we work all the time. I mean, you have to have that in common. Otherwise, you're gonna fail. I mean, you're setting yourself to failure. Your relationship to fail.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I'm glad you said something about that because that is very important.
Mhm.
And that was actually gonna be a question. I had that question in mind and I totally forgot about it. But like it being with a person that works a 9 to 5, that's been working a 9 to 5 for years, never been an entrepreneur ever. And they meet you, they fall for you, and then when they see exactly what you do, it's kind of like, why are you doing this? You need to be,
Right.
how do you deal with that? Like if you have a connection, well, I think if you have a connection, they would understand. But what if there was a situation where you had a connection and they just did not
That
understand?
was probably the only thing that we didn't go over. Like he knew what I did, but that, like you said, I didn't consider that. I thought that because he knew what I did, he knew I was an entrepreneur. He appreciated it, I guess, from afar. And then when I started the business here with him, that was one of the things that he didn't like. So like, because I had the RV, our guests would come up until like 8 o'clock. And so if a guest came up to the door, they needed, emergency or anything, like I had to go out and deal with it. He's like, we're eating dinner. I said, I know, but my job is 24 hours. If someone breaks down, I have to go outside. And he was just like, no, you don't, let them sit outside. And I was like, you can't do that as a 24-hour business. You can't do it.
Baby, you cannot do
Right.
that. Oh, yeah.
Yikes. Okay, yeah, that's
See, I feel like you have to learn how to talk to each other too. Because like I said, my mentality now than when I was 20 years ago is completely different. For one, you're not gonna sit here and talk to me like that. I'm fixing to go handle this, with my
You
job.
cut somebody. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna go handle this with with my. It's your responsibility to make sure they're okay.
it is.
And I do
Right.
think that when you go into a relationship as an entrepreneur and you're dealing with somebody who works 8 to 5, 9 to 5, that needs to be understood
From the jump.
And then you can run little tests and trials if you wanted to, just to see where their mindset is before you go all the way in. So it's just almost like being a doctor or a surgeon or something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Or a nurse.
So, okay. So do the same rules apply for two entrepreneurs? I mean, is it the same thing?
I
Because
think the same would apply.
I think it's easier if both of them are on the same page. I mean, most people that have their own business, they love what they do, so they're gonna understand that your couple spouse loves what they do. So you want to actually encourage them to go do whatever they want to do because they're gonna be happier. And if
Right.
he or she's happier, they're gonna make you happy. That's just the way it is. To me, that's a good thing.
I
That's
like
true.
I think the only thing different on that is you have to be more aware of jealousy, because if you're more successful in doing your entrepreneur than he is or than she is, you have to know how that person deals with competitive and jealousy at the same time, because you might have started later than them and have more success than them when they've been doing it longer than you have in a different
Right.
field or in the same field.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad you brought that up
Yeah,
because that can turn the relationship going the
Yeah.
other way.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
Mhm.
I like that. Well, I thank you guys for joining
Yeah.
us. This was a
We
wonderful
Have
conversation.
gone past our time.
Listen, I wish we could,
Thank you.
do 2 hours, but
I
we
know.
cannot.
No.
So, Eric, thank you.
Yeah.
Charlotte, thank
Thank
you.
you, ladies.
Thank
both
you
of y'all
so
for coming
much.
on.
We love y'all
Yes.
for real. So, bye, guys. I gotta
Bye.
give you
Have a good night.
Bye.
Shout out our shirts real quick.
Go ahead.
I motivate me. Hashtag now watch this. Shout out to Ron Carey. Look,
Yes.
Ron, this marketing.
Ooh.
We're gonna have to talk about this.
Hey, wait,
because,
listen.
Yeah. But
Tell them about
y'all
the
better
shirt.
get y'all. I'm just gonna go on ahead and tell y'all. Okay, so we were at an event in Dallas a few weeks ago. I ordered a shirt and he didn't have my size, and he was like, "Well, hey, I'm gonna mail it to you." I said, "Okay." So he mailed me 2 shirts and then this bracelet. So I get the package, y'all. I open it. Woo! When I tell you this shirt smelled good,
Terrible.
oh my gosh. Look, I said, hold on. This is a good way to market because guess what? People gonna keep coming back because of the scent of the shirts. So I let my daughter smell it and she was like, "Ooh, mama." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Girl, put these back in the packages." I said, "I got to let Jennifer and Chris smell these shirts." So I wrapped it back up in there and took it the next day. And I was just like,
Listen,
"Man,
Ron. Listen. You can't be doing.
You
We can't be
can't.
out here doing these females like that. Now we understand
Yeah.
why you have a following the way that you do.
Yes." Because if every single shirt that you send out smell like that, boy,
But no, just
But yeah.
all jokes aside,
yeah.
we love you. Like
We
for
do.
real, it was a pleasure meeting you.
it was awesome. So I do love my shirts. So,
Yes.
hey, shout
And
out.
shout out to Mr. Randall Watson. He
Yes.
supplied this shirt. Y'all make sure y'all follow these guys because they
Yes.
are doing marvelous things. And a lot of the business owners that we met at the fashion show a couple of weeks ago, I mean, they are doing their
Oh my
things.
gosh,
They are doing their thing. So, y'all make sure y'all show them some love for real.
Definitely.
Because yeah, it was a pleasure. But yes, we have run over our time.
Yeah. So
We have had a wonderful conversation. Thank you to those that chimed in, those of you that commented. Y'all are awesome. Y'all rock.
yes, make sure y'all share, like this video. If you want to
Yes.
contribute, sponsor anything, our Cash App is the $ Bam Woman Magazine. PayPal is bamwomanmagazine@gmail.com.
Absolutely.
Like I said, we're doing sponsors. You want to sponsor a podcast show? Hey, hop on it. And just get on our website and follow us on social media and see everything that we have going. We are going to release a few things since a lot of people will be at home and on their devices. So yeah. So excited. So yes, like she said, we got to go.
Watch for work. But no, we yes. So make sure that y'all pay attention because we're gonna be posting.
Yes.
More
Y'all
than we
gonna
have
see
been
us a
posting
lot.
here lately, but we've got some good things going on, and
Yes.
we're very excited. We love what we do. We're passionate about
Definitely.
helping other businesses, other people get their stuff started. So if you need help with any type of promoting with your business, give us a shout. I mean,
Yes.
that's what we're here for. That's why we
Yes.
started Bam Woman Magazine. That's what our companies do.
Yes.
Toya Thrives, I Am Beautiful movement. Let's talk about it, Jen. We came
Mhm.
together,
Yes.
and Bam Woman is doing its
It
thing.
is.
So
and I mean, we have been doing some research this week on some numbers and things, and
yes.
yes.
It's gonna be amazing.
It is.
But all right, guys, we have held y'all longer than we wanted to, but thank you so much for hanging in there. We love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Stay safe, stay warm. Peace out.